Call of Duty is synonymous in the gaming community as one of the best shooters around, mainly because of how it reached such a critical point that it had such a big fan base, and everyone was always going to be wanting this series to come out with an annual release. And you'd think that people would eventually get tired of it, but no, you'd be wrong. For quite a while, Call of Duty was reaching such a fan base that every year it only saw, for quite a while, I'd say a few years, that it saw an increase, and you thought that they would eventually fall off. And later on it did, but we'll get to that topic later. But Call of Duty first introduced itself in 2003 with Call of Duty 1, and then later proceeded to be an annual release, 2004, having titles such as Call of Duty United Offense and Call of Duty Finest Hour. And then later on in 2005 to have Call of Duty 2, and then you would proceed the cycle to like Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2. What was the next one after that? Oh, I knew it. Ghost. And then Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. And we'll touch on those last three because they were what you would consider the decline of Call of Duty. We'll get to that in a bit in this video. But from the start, Call of Duty took off. It was selling well, it was doing well, people liked the shooter, it was popular. Once you get around to 2007 with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, you have reached a high mass of people that wanted the game. And it started, I would say the community hit a peak at that point where it was growing quite a bit. Everyone wanted the game, everyone was raving about it. It had reached a great point because it was set in such a good time period. The gameplay mechanics for its time and all that did well. Sales were up, and the Call of Duty didn't seem like it was going to be on a decline anytime soon. Next year showed Call of Duty World at War, which was a take into the older warfare, and it introduced Call of Duty Zombies, which was very popular with many people, and the game did pretty damn well for itself. And then we have 2009 introducing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which would be one of the most fan favorite Call of Duties out there, which may be a bias, but there for sure is a big fan base that really did appreciate this game and really loved it. And now it's cemented as one of the greatest Call of Duties besides Black Ops 2, which we'll touch up in a bit. And then later on, you think these sales are high, Call of Duty has reached a peak, community is strong, what more can they do? Well, later the next year, 2010, they saw Call of Duty Black Ops, which did very well, and it brought back zombies, and it of course did very well because that's a fan favorite, of course. And it only proceeded to do well, which you'd think that Call of Duty would eventually start falling off, but no, you would not see a decline. You would only see an increase, and the community would stay strong. Later on, though, 2011 saw Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, which wasn't the biggest hype. It maybe because of the name, and then Modern Warfare 2 being so great and trying to live up to that expectation, it didn't completely live up to that, but it still did well. Maybe saw a little bit of a slump, and that's why the community maybe didn't peak or anything or increase anymore. But then later on, you would see Call of Duty Black Ops 2, which for sure is another top-rated Call of Duty that many of the fans of the series would consider to be top tier of all Call of Duties, and it only brought the community back stronger and better than ever, and then increased the number of people who were playing it, and had such a nostalgic feeling that everyone was loving it. You would have thought that they were reaching for a little bit more of a futuristic feel would have declined, but it actually went very well. And later on, you would see the last Call of Duty that had no supply drops, that had little to no microtransactions, and was the last boots to ground Call of Duty, and it was Call of Duty Ghost. This Call of Duty would be the last time that any player would see boots to ground and would not be flying up on walls before then. And it did well because predecessor Black Ops 2, people thought it could only get better. Sadly, it did not really do as well as most people wanted to, but it still was received well, did well in sales. And then the decline of Call of Duty reached. We had Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. This saw people in a very futuristic era where not only were they had jetpacks, they were walking on walls and whatnot. It was just new, and the community, for most, I'd say they were trying to open up to it, and it just did not, it was not received well, and of course for good reason. It's just a big dramatic change, and sales did not hit anywhere near as what they should be for Call of Duties, so you see a decline. And then next year, people for sure were expecting and hoping for a boost to ground, but that was not the case, as we saw Call of Duty Black Ops 3 take into action. And did it live up to any expectations really that people had? I'd say no, but I feel like it was better done, and at least sales could be at least considered a bit better than Advanced Warfare, but not by much. And it still had the same gameplay mechanics, and it just tried, but no, still not received well by the fans, and many of the community just broke in at that point. Not many people wanting to even really pick up a Call of Duty at this point because of what they're doing, and it's not sitting well with old school fans. And of course, people who are just younger might not care, might just say, you know what, I like it, or maybe new old fans receive, but it was still not anywhere near as what it should have been. And then the next year, which saw the most dramatic decline and the most hate towards a trailer, as shown on this image, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which was hated by so many fans in the trailer as well as on release date. Just terrible. Honestly terrible what was done to the game. It was called one of the worst Call of Duties out there. Although they did do something right about the game, the single player campaign was rated at actually being very well done, so it had that. But the multiplayer was no, and it still had boosts, it still had you flying jetpacks and all that. It was just not highly received. Sales were going down, and GameStops and whatnot were selling it pretty cheap after just a month of release. So you could tell that Call of Duty was not doing well, and this has been their peak decline. And now we have what could be arguably considered possibly a comeback for Call of Duty. Will it be a complete comeback? I don't know. It's back to old school, and it's boots to ground. Will it bring back old fans? Hopefully it will bring back some, but I doubt many people, everybody would be hopping them back on to Call of Duty, or they might not get their expectations up too high. But it is Call of Duty World War II, and as of right now, it's being received well because, of course, it's going back to old roots. It's older style, boots to ground, and of course, Eric is trying to implement things that are new, so it gives them more of a fresh feel. And this could honestly be what Call of Duty needs to get back from the 3-year decline that it has been on, or even I would consider Ghost to be a decline as well, because of sales and whatnot. But as of right now, Call of Duty World War II might be what Call of Duty needs to at least lift itself up from the decline and maybe stay on a steady path, at least for now, because it looks from the looks of what everything that happened from Advanced Warfare to Infinite Warfare, it has taught them to probably listen up more to the fans and probably recover Call of Duty to, it won't be at its peak glory anymore, but at least to something that's more appreciated and not in a decline with the fans and not being sold at a very cheap price after a month of sales. And that has been Call of Duty, the rise and fall. And leave your comments down below if you think that Call of Duty was at a one point just increasing, or if you think that it was declining way earlier than what I said, which was Ghost. And let me know what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed. leave you with this outro, and thank you for watching the video. Peace.